Alien Pets, the First Contact. A few short weeks after she graduated from space school, Antaska stood in front of a clear barrier, waiting and hoping to be selected. She held her small gray and white cat Patat in her arms. Energized with excitement and high-strung nerves, Antaska watched the gigantic green alien verdantes. Crowds of them walked in the curved corridor outside her viewing room. The aliens and Tasca's prospective employers looked in at her and the other humans in similar viewing rooms built by the Verdantes to suit their purposes. The walls on the sides of her viewing room blocked Antasca from seeing the other humans and which aliens were taking an interest in them. Now one of the aliens looked at Antasca and paused. The 8-foot tall giant approached and stopped right in front of her. Itasca looked up to see enormous slanting green eyes staring down at her. Above the eyes, green curly hair covered an enormous cranium. The alien lifted a large 6-fingered hand and waved at her. Itasca waved back and smiled. Maybe I'll be selected already, she thought. Grrr, she heard and looked down. Potat stiffened in her arms. She hissed and spat at the verdante in front of them. The big eyes of the alien got bigger. "Stop that," Antaska said to Potat. "Shush!" But the tiny cat wouldn't stop. "Row." Potat let out an endless angry meow. The alien shrugged big shoulders and shook his head. He lifted his hands as if to say, "What can I do?" and walked away. Potat stopped meowing and settled back down in Antaska's arms. "What is wrong with you?" Antaska asked the little cat. She didn't expect an answer, of course, and she didn't get one. "Are you crazy? You might have just blown our only chance to go to space. My life's dream. Don't you dare do that again." By habit, Antaska talked out loud to the cat. Sometimes it almost seemed like Potat understood what she was saying. This had better be one of those times, Antaska thought. She felt a slight movement and looked down to see Patat cleaning a snow-white paw. And Tasker looked up. Another alien, this one female, was standing in front of the clear barrier. She wore the same bright blue spacesuit as the males, but she had a smaller, more delicate feminine body and features. Shiny bright green hair brushed her shoulders. Large pale green eyes crinkled up as she looked down at Antaska and Patat. Maybe Patat will like this one better, Itasca thought. She smiled up at the alien and waved. The female alien waved back and then made signals with her hands. She pointed at herself, then at Itasca and little Patat, and then up towards space. Itasca nodded and gave her a thumbs up. Yes, she thought. Grrr, Patat started growling. "Oh, no, you bad cat, not again," Natasha admonished her. But the cat paid no attention. Meow. Patat let out her endless howl. The Verdante female's smallest mouth formed an O shape. She shook her big head from side to side. "No, no, stop, stop," Natasha pleaded with her cat, but of course Patat didn't listen. The alien lowered her chin and closed her eyes for a moment. Itasca read that as disappointment. Then the large green female turned and walked away. Itasca's hopes took a dive. She turned, walked a few feet back, and plopped down on the couch built into the wall in the back of the small viewing room. "Are you trying to stop me from going into space?" Itasca asked Potat as she set her down on the couch. Potat, now calm and settled, looked up at her with innocent gold eyes. "Maybe cats just aren't adaptable to new things," thought Itasca. "Maybe they're just not that intelligent." A tiny paw reached out and slapped her leg kind of hard. "That wasn't nice," Itasca told her. Am I going to be stuck on Earth with a crazy cat? She said out loud to no one in particular. Patat ignored her and began to take a bath. Antaska sighed and leaned against the back of the couch. With dimming hope, she watched the large aliens walking past outside her viewing room. A few minutes later, the nutty cat jumped off the couch and walked to the front of the room. Patat sat down there and watched the Verdantes pass by as if she were the one they might pick. Then she looked back and stared hard at Antaska. I think she wants me to go over there now, Antaska thought. Or maybe this cat has finally drove me crazy. Grumbling about the problems with cats, Antaska got off the couch and walked over to Patat. She picked up the tiny cat and whispered in her ear, Okay, you've got your way once again, as usual. I hope you're happy, whatever you were up to. Patat purred back in her ear. Among the other Verdantes, lanky, thin Mhoivel took long strides around the circle of rooms containing Earth humans. It was his second or third time circling around. So many of them. How was he supposed to choose? The humans stood near the front of their viewing containers, watching the Verdantes pass with wide, round eyes, except at a few of the containers. Some have been taken already, Mhoivel thought. I'd better pick one before they're all gone. He walked past an empty spot to the next one where a male human was performing martial arts moves. The red-haired male was stockier than the usual design for space travel, with cool genetically designed tattoos along his arms and chest. Mhoivel stopped in front of the Earthman and watched him. The man smiled and kicked high in the air. It might be fun to have someone to practice fighting with, thought Mhoivel. Of course, it would have to be pretend. They're so much smaller and slower. I could easily kill him by accident if I wasn't careful. That wouldn't be good. Mhoivel stood there watching. He tried to decide whether to take this one and if that would be a good idea. Out of nowhere, he heard a small female telepathic voice. Here, over here, said the voice repeatedly and insistently. Who's that? He wondered. He looked around, but there were no female Verdantes close by, and those walking by weren't paying any attention to him at all. They might have been interested in the human male, but they wouldn't approach the container when another Verdante was already there. That rule stopped people from fighting over the same pet. No, the strange tiny voice wasn't a Verdante, and it seemed to be coming from the direction of the cube next to him. Mhoivel looked over. Now a female stood there. She held a teeny tiny gray and white cat in her arms. Could that Earth female be telepathic? Mhoivel wondered. No, that's not possible. Mhoivel lost interest in the martial arts man. He walked over to stare at the young woman with the cat. The tiny voice stopped. Did I really hear that? He wondered. He shook his big green head. The pink-haired Earth female smiled up at him. This is the one. Mhoivel suddenly knew it for sure without knowing why. He made the hand signs, asking the human if she would like to go up to space with him. She didn't answer right away. She lifted her cat and stared at it and talked to it. Could that cat be sentient? Mhoivel wondered. No, that's not possible either. But the young woman seemed to be asking the cat's opinion. The cat leaned toward Mhoivel behind the clear barrier and reached out her paws toward him. Then the Earth female nodded her head and gave him a thumbs up. Mhoivel placed his palm on the pad outside her viewing container to select her. And that was chapter 1 of Alien Pets by me, Tricia McNary. If you want to read the rest of the book, it's free on Amazon, and there are links in the description below this video. And there are also links to other books that I wrote. Some are free, some are available at low cost. And I will be making more videos on the rest of this book in the future. So I hope that you liked it and that you will look for more videos by me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.